Do you feel like a zombie trying to blend in with the rest of the world? Well, we've got good news and bad news. The good news is that you're not alone. There are plenty of men out there who've got the same complaint. As for the bad news, this is not an issue you can brush under the rug. Feeling tired all the time can seriously affect your ability to perform your day-to-day tasks, leaving you behind in life. But not to worry. Today, we're here to break down the brutal truth about why you're always tired and how to fix it. But before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Number 10. Not getting enough high-quality sleep. Let's start with the most obvious culprit, sleep. You may be getting the required 6 to 8 hours of sleep, but you still wake up feeling tired. This is when you should ask yourself, are you getting high-quality sleep, or are you just waking up continuously throughout the night? Is your bed comfortable enough? Are you stressed? See, sleep is when your body releases a bunch of hormones and repairs the body. That's how you wake up feeling refreshed. But if you have an irregular sleep schedule, or if you're on your phone for prolonged periods of time before bedtime, you may not be getting the required high-quality sleep. So how do you fix it? Well, first, you need to figure out what's wrong. Are you having trouble falling asleep? Is something disturbing your sleep? If that's the case, you can either choose to visit a doctor who can prescribe you some medicines, or you can take steps to ensure you get a better sleep, like cutting down on your sleep time and investing in a more comfortable bed. Number 9. Nutritional deficiencies. But what if you're sleeping fine? Then what? Well, in that case, you might want to look at your diet. See, most people never think of it, but some nutritional deficiencies can also lead to chronic fatigue. But what nutrients are those? Well, there's iron, for starters, and riboflavin, which is more commonly known as vitamin B2. Other nutrients include vitamin C, vitamin D, magnesium, folate, and vitamin B12. But how do you figure out which nutrient you're running low on? Well, you'll need to visit a doctor, and they'll run some tests. Once you have the results, you simply have to take some supplements to make up for it. And voila, you'll be good as new. Number 8. Poor diet. Speaking of which, poor diet may also be yet another cause of chronic fatigue. For you to feel like your best, you need to consume a balanced diet that makes you feel energized. If your body is not getting enough calories in the form of protein or carbohydrates, it's obvious that you'll struggle with day-to-day tasks. You'll lose body mass, which will yet again contribute to chronic fatigue. These days, most people are in the habit of ordering takeout, and we get it. It's easier since it saves you the trouble of spending time in the kitchen. But the truth is that ultra-processed foods don't provide the required energy levels. So visit your local meat seller and stock up on protein for the week. If your job doesn't let you cook every day, you can work on meal plans on the weekend and do your meal prep as well. Also, keep snacks on you all the time so you can munch on them throughout the day. We recommend keeping dates, nuts, or even protein shakes. Number 7. High levels of stress. Next up, there's no shame in admitting it. As a man, there are several responsibilities on your shoulders, and if you're dealing with high levels of stress every day, you may find it harder to wind down. But how do you deal with the situation? Well, sorry to break it to you, but the stress is not going anywhere. However, the one thing you can do is learn how to deal with the stressors in life. We know going to a therapist is looked down upon in the community, but the truth is, there's no shame in getting help. You won't be any less of a man for visiting a therapist. So go ahead and book that appointment, and hopefully, you'll be able to feel better in no time. Number 6. Caffeine. Moving on, we know most of you watching this video can't live without caffeine, and we don't blame you. It's a crime to think folks can get through their days without coffee. But if you're feeling tired all the time, you need to ask yourself, are you going overboard with your caffeine intake? The truth is that too much caffeine can make it difficult to fall asleep, especially if you're drinking a cup of coffee, say 2 to 3 hours before bed. And it's not just coffee. Energy drinks fall into the same category. Fortunately, it's easy to fix this little problem. You simply have to cut down on your caffeine intake, or change the timings of when you drink your coffee or energy drink. Number 5. Dehydration. And while we're on the topic of drinks, we should probably touch on water. Again, this is something that most people don't think of, but maintaining your water levels is important if you don't want to feel like a zombie throughout the day. See, our body loses water all the time, and it's our job to replace that water loss. When you choose to not replace that water loss, you end up with low energy levels. Heck, you might even find it hard to concentrate on your work. But once again, this problem has an easy fix. You just need to drink enough water. Ideally, you should be drinking 8 glasses of water a day, assuming that each glass has 8 ounces. Number 4. Exercising too little or too much. Next up, we know everyone here is a hardcore gym freak. But what most people don't realize is that exercising right before bed might be the reason behind their chronic fatigue. Typically, exercising before bed would affect the quality of your sleep. How's that? Well, sure, you'll go to bed feeling more satisfied, but the truth is that exercise raises the normal temperature of your body and causes changes in your hormones. And so that'll make it harder for your body to wind down for bedtime. The key to fixing this is simple. You could simply choose to not exercise. But if you're dead set on getting your body moving before bedtime, you could try out some gentle stretching or even yoga. On the other hand, some of you might not be exercising enough. See, if you exercise at the right time, like in the morning or after work, you're actually all set to get good sleep. Why? Well, it's because 20 minutes of daily exercise brings down anxiety and stress levels. It also tires out your body, making it easier for you to fall asleep. Number 3. You're bored. Believe it or not, feeling bored might be another reason why you feel tired all the time. This might be an issue if you're working from home, but how do the two things tie in together? Well, feeling bored leads to tiredness. Your body's not stimulated enough, so it naturally feels like it needs to lie down. Also, feeling bored means you'll have a hard time staying productive. Obviously, that's another opportunity for your mind to wander. What's more, you'll become sluggish and unmotivated. And if this becomes a cycle, well, you'll not feel like taking on new challenges. But the question is, what do you do about it? Well, we suggest making a plan for your day. You should fill it up with different activities that will keep you engaged, like going to the gym for exercise, volunteering at your local charity, or even visiting a longtime friend. The point is that you're active and on your feet, and not sitting in the same spot. So binging on your PS5 or binge watching are out the window. Number 2. Mental health issues. Another reason you might be feeling tired throughout the day is because of mental health issues. Again, we know that some men might feel uncomfortable talking about it, but we're human as well. We get depressed and anxious. And if you're dealing with these mental health issues, well, then it might be a good idea to go to a therapist. Why? Well, because depression and anxiety can lead to reduced energy levels and changes in sleeping and eating habits. And so you're better off looking for professional help. Your doctor will ask you a bunch of questions, and based on the answers, he might write you some medications, or he might recommend therapy. Just remember you're making the right decision by prioritizing your mental health. Number 1. Underlying chronic condition. Finally, in the worst-case scenario, you could also feel tired because of an underlying chronic condition. When you're feeling tired all the time, you might want to take it seriously and visit a doctor, since your body might be trying to tell you something. As men who are working around the clock, sometimes we might not pay attention to the signs of disease. Feeling tired all the time might be one of them. So if you suspect that something is wrong, go with your gut and schedule an appointment with your healthcare provider. They'll examine you, ask you questions, and then work towards a diagnosis. It might feel a little scary at first, and even unnecessary, but remember, it's better to be safe than sorry. And so at the end of the day, there can be a lot of causes for chronic fatigue. You'll need to rack your brain to figure out the cause. It may take some time, but once you do, you'll be able to live a much more comfortable life. Some basic steps include prioritizing your sleep, making sure you're eating full meals, and managing your stress. Speaking of which, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content just like this.